everybody, welcome back to Reading Nook at Cosy Nook Library. I'm one of the 3 librarians. My name is Radhika Sathe, and today we're going to talk about my most favorite kind of children's books, picture books. And I am constantly encouraging children and parents to read picture books because they really are the most amazing way of introducing literature to children. They are really good for vocabulary building because imagine what a picture book writer manages to convey in 30 pages. It takes a chapter book at least 100 pages, if not 300 and sometimes more. So picture books are wonderful. The illustrations help children with imagination. Picture walk through the book with a child can lend itself to some great conversations. So please read picture books with your children, and I think they're a great stress buster. Like, I love to read picture books. The first one we want to talk to you about and share with you today is one of our favorites at Cosy Nook Library, and that is Amachi's Glasses by Priya Kurian. This book is incredible because there's not a single word in this entire book. It's about a grandma who wakes up in the morning and finds out that she can't find her glasses, and the adventures she has because of not finding her glasses. And the illustrations by Priya Kurian are just, oh, this is so funny, are just amazing. They are funny, engaging, and I don't think I've met a human being who hasn't loved this book. So please read Amachi's Glasses by Priya Kurian. The second picture book that I would like to share with you is Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. It's by Mo Willems, and this is the first book in the Pigeon series. It's also one of his first books, and this book is a Caldecott award-winning book. The illustrations are very sparse, are very minimalistic, and there's so much scope for a child to imagine. The thing I love about this book is that it puts the child in charge of a pigeon. The story is a bus driver parks his bus and goes to take a break and tells the reader, the children, that they shouldn't allow the pigeon to ride the bus, to drive the bus. And then what happens? And children, for a change, are in control. They are in charge of making sure this pigeon behaves itself. It's funny. This book is very, very funny. At the same time, there's a lot for a child to get out of this book. This book is definitely for emergent readers as far as reading goes, but this book can be used for much older children also, because there are lessons to be learned from this book about peer pressure, about responsibility, and like I said, a child feels completely in charge because the reader has been put in charge of driving the book. So Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems, one of the best books ever. Funny and lovely. The other book that we'd like to share with you, which is again very funny, is The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew DeWalt, and the illustrations are by Oliver Jeffers. And this book is so funny, it's so engaging. It is this boy Duncan who goes, while at school, goes to his box of crayons, but instead finds a stack of letters. And each crayon writes a letter to him, either thanking him or complaining to him about how they feel. And I think no child after reading this book will ever look at his box of crayons the same way, because they're always going to wonder, what does this crayon think about me? And the pictures are, it's an Oliver Jeffers book, so the illustrations are fantastic, and it's funny at the same time. There's a lot to be got out of this book. I think this book is definitely good for parents to read to their children because there's a lot of text in it, and then they can actually do a nice picture walk, go through the pictures, talk about how feelings, talk about how the crayons feel. I would like to read to you a little bit, if that's okay. I want to read to you about how the red crayon feels. And it says, "Hey Duncan, It's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out, coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. And how does the white crayon feel? I really like that. Dear Duncan, you color with me, but why? Most of the time, I am the same color as the page you're using me on. White. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to color snow or to fill in spaces between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. And then there's this picture that Duncan has drawn of a white cat on snow. And that's how a white crayon feels. Such a lovely book. Definitely one of our huge favorites. The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew DeWalt. Pictures by Oliver Jeffers. And then this is one of my all-time favorite books, The Bad Tempered Ladybug. It's also published as The Grouchy Ladybug in some countries by the incredible Eric Carle. And this is a book that I think was published sometimes in the mid-70s and has been a favorite with students and teachers. There is a lot here as a teacher resource, as a parent resource. The book is about a ladybug or a ladybird who's grouchy, who's irritated, and who's ready to pick a fight with anybody. In typical Eric Carle style, there are lovely illustrations, which he of course makes for himself. There's a lot of watercolors, and the thing that I love most are these cut-offs. These are incredible. This is how he has shown. The learning resource or the teaching resource here are the clocks, where you can actually teach your child when you're reading with them to tell time. There's also because every shape, every size of animal, as the book goes on, as the pages increase, the size of the animals increase, so you can teach your child about that. This book is funny. I've never read this book to a group of kids and they haven't rolled on the floor laughing. It's a hilarious book. If you are reading to your child, make sure you're over the top and you're having fun with this book. So this is The Bad Tempered Ladybird by Eric Carle, one of our favorites. Again, please read picture books with your children and make sure that even when they start reading chapter books, you keep them interested in picture books. That's all we have for this week from Cosy Nook Library. Keep reading and we'll catch you next week. Bye.